Hey guys, I'm an NA Challenger Leblanc one trick. I have over 2 million mastery points, 6,000 plus games. I've gotten 4 Challenger accounts playing mostly Leblanc, and today I'll be bringing you my ultimate Leblanc guide for Season 9. This video will include all the combos you need to know and when to use them, many advanced tips and tricks that I use at Challenger level, and how to play Leblanc perfectly in the early to mid to late game. Let's get started.
Watch closely.
Okay, let's first start with Leblanc's abilities. Her passive mirror image creates a clone of Leblanc when you drop below 40% health. You can move the clone by pressing the Alt key. The clone lasts for 8 seconds and it deals no damage. This is really deceiving for the enemy, so you can use it creatively to outplay them. Leblanc's Q is a targeted spell that deals damage and marks the enemy. You can proc the mark by landing another skill and deal even more damage. We'll be maxing this skill second. Leblanc's W is a dash that deals damage in the area she lands. You can reactivate W in the next 4 seconds to go back to the original spot. This is Leblanc's main source of damage and wave clear. We'll be maxing this skill first. Leblanc's E is a skill shot chain. If it hits the target and it doesn't break, it will root the enemy for 1.5 seconds. Leblanc's ultimate is Mimic. You can copy the last skill you used on Leblanc, whether it is Q, W, or E. Always max W first, then Q, then E, and take a point in your ultimate whenever you can. The question I get the most often is, why does LeBlanc have like 100 different combos, and when do I use which combo? Don't worry, there's actually only 5 useful combos you need to know to play this champion well. The other ones are not very practical in real situations. Here are 2 basic combos to use without using your ultimate. QW for standard trades and burst. WEQ for closing it on the enemy and trading. One common mistake I see with LeBlanc players is that they love using their ultimate to mimic Q early. This is actually the worst combo you can do during the early stages of the game. This combo is not efficient at all until you are level 13 plus. It does very low damage early. It's difficult to proc the second part of your mimic Q damage because it is very easy for the enemy to react to it. The only way you can be useful with this combo in the early game is if the enemy is running into you while you are not seen, or if they are CC'd for you to land all of your damages. Try to avoid using this combo until around level 11. Oh, there it is. WR is the most versatile combo you can use throughout the whole game. You can use your ultimate for big AoE damage, gap close, or jukes. Rank 1 Mimic W actually provides not that much damage. Your W actually does more damage than your Mimic W before level 11. So using it as a gap close early is perfectly fine. After level 11, you should look to use it more for damage. The damage is very instant and the AoE is wide. It's very hard for the enemy to react to it and is a great combo throughout the entire mid to late game. Look to use this combo for gap close damage before level 10 and use it preferably only for damage after level 11. ER or double chain is the best combo in the early game anywhere between level 6 to 13. Depending on the situation, it is very effective at setting up ganks with a jungler. By landing the first chain, you are guaranteed to land the second one, which will literally snare the enemy for up to 3 seconds total. Fun fact, this combo actually does the same amount of damage as Q and Mimic Q, but adds CC on top of it. It is also very effective when it comes to picking people off in the jungle and trading in one-on-one situations. As you can see here, the best way to use it is by weaving in multiple auto attacks in between the chain durations so you can maximize the damage you deal to the enemy. Look to use this combo as much as you can in the early to mid game. It's the perfect combo to set up and snowball early leads for yourself and your team. Leblanc is a combo based assassin, so after using a skill and your ultimate, use the remaining spells on the target to finish the rotation for maximum damage. W onto the enemy as you dematerialize the cannon. This will surprise your opponent with your level 6 power spike. And you can easily pick up a kill or get a great trade with a double chain combo. Note here, pay close attention to your EXP bar on the third cannon wave. This is where both laners hit around level 6. Yep, easy. You can use E-Flash on LeBlanc to catch your opponent off guard. E-Flash into QW or WQ is best when finishing off low health opponent who has flash up. Once the chain connects, they won't be able to escape even if they flash. Over the course of 8 years of playing League, I can guarantee you it is near impossible to react to E-Flash unless you play on Tim Ping or your name is either Faker or Bjergsen. RQW is the safest trading pattern you can abuse before level 11. You're almost never in danger because you can just W back, leaving the enemy no room to trade back while taking a huge burst of damage at the same time. Using your ultimate as a gap close before level 11 is perfectly fine since it actually doesn't do that much damage, so don't feel bad. When trading, most enemies like to stand behind their caster minions to avoid getting hit by Leblanc chain, but with the help of a few auto attacks, you can actually one-shot the caster minions as you W onto them, making the enemy wide open for chain. It's a simple move, but even challenger players fall for it, so I'm sure you can easily abuse this as well. Note here, level 5 with Dark Seal, you need 2 autos on each caster minion for them to get one shot by your W. Level 7 to 9, just 1 auto. W flash R is the fastest burst combo. This combo is very instant, and with the help of auto attack, ignite, and electrocute, you can easily one-shot anyone that's near 60% health. Lastly, you can dash over the middle of the nexus to get back to lane just a tiny bit faster. Try to play aggressive in the early game. You can trade heavily level 1 and 2 with your corruption potion. Leblanc is a very skirmishy champion, so fighting in the jungle with your jungler early is very advantageous. Communicate well with your jungler since Leblanc's chain is probably the best skill at setting up ganks. By landing the chain, you're guaranteed for a kill if not a flash for the very least. Mid game. After laning phase is over, look to be on the side lane. The reason why assassins tend to go on the side lane is because the lane is longer. Therefore, you will have more room for kills when you're running them down. Red Trinket and Pink Wards are your best friends. Make sure to never cheap out on Pink Wards because vision is key when playing assassin-like champions. After getting the push down in the side lane, pop your Red Trinket and disappear into the enemy's jungle. This will put an immense amount of pressure for the enemy team and forces them to face check into the jungle, where you can pick up free kills and snowball. As an assassin, Leblanc's job in the late game is to blow up the enemy's carries. I don't think Leblanc necessarily gets outscaled in the late game, however, you do have to be very creative during teamfights to find the pick on the enemy backline. You can easily carry a teamfight single-handedly if you play it right. I recommend using the W flash R combo to burst their backline, or QR if you're ever in range to catch someone off guard. Again, vision is key when it comes to wrapping around and surprising your enemy, so try to ignore their tanks and use your combos on important members only. There are 3 matchups that I think are really unfavorable for Leblanc. Kassadin passively takes less magic damage, his Q gives a magic shield, it is the perfect champion to counter AP assassins. To play against him, your only advantage is pre-6. Look to freeze the wave and communicate well with your jungler to take advantage of his melee status. It gets harder after 6 and onwards. It's a difficult matchup and very snowbally for the Kassadin. Usually I would just ban this champion. Lissandra and Galio are very similar in playstyle. They both take Aftershock and Teleport to be annoying during laning phase, and they can also trade back very well with their kit. These 2 champions are very hard to take advantage of during laning phase. You can't really kill them, but they also can't really kill you. So try to stay even in CS and get advantage elsewhere on the map. For runes, this is what I take. When versus melee matchups such as Yasuo, Akali, Aurelia, Galio, I like to switch Sudden Impact with Taste of Blood, since you can proc it very easily and it gives you that extra bit of sustain in lane. You can also take Manifold Ban and Transcendence or Absolute Focus second if you're looking to play for scaling. The reason why I like going Minion Dematerializer and Time Warp Tonic second is that it helps a lot with your laning and last hitting, and once you use it enough times on the caster minions, you can easily one-shot them with your W. Generally, I like to use at least 3 on the caster minions, and the other 3 you can be creative with it, whether it's melees, cannons, or more casters. The new Time Warp Tonic actually feels quite nice. It has saved me countless times from Ignite, and the bonus movement speed is awesome to have. If you're a lane dominant player, I recommend going Inspiration over Sorcery. In the third tree, I actually like taking the 10% attack speed for offense. It feels absolutely incredible and smooth for last hitting, pushing, and trading in lane. Having the 9 AP early just doesn't feel as impactful. And for those of you who haven't tried this, I recommend giving it a shot. You will definitely fall in love with it. For items, always start Corruption Potion, then buy a Dark Seal in your next buy. Depending on the matchup, if you're laning against a Xerath, Orianna, or Cassiopeia, champions that are heavily reliant on landing skill shots, rush Sork Boots, buy Lost Chapter, and complete Luden's Echo whenever you can. If you're laning against an Annie, Yasuo, or Vladimir, champions that don't really have skill shots, rush Lost Chapter, complete Luden's Echo first, then Sork Boots. If the enemy team comp has a lot of CC, you can swap Sork Boots with Mercury Treads. After completing Boots and Luden's Echo, look to buy Oblivion Orb. And depending on the enemy team comp, you can either complete Morelos if the enemy team has a lot of healing such as Soraka, Vladimir, Aatrox, or you can sit on that and look to complete the next item. Here's when items get situational. If the enemy team has already bought a ton of MR, buy Void Staff. If the enemy team has a ton of CC and magic damage, by Banshee's Veil. If the enemy team has a ton of armor and burst damage, by Zhonya's. If you're really fed and snowballing hard, you can buy Death Cap or Medjai's. Your final build should look something like this, with only Zhonya's and Banshees being changeable. I had a blast making this video, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch it. I'm excited to see you guys win more LeBlanc games by applying the tips I shared with you. I'll be making a lot more guides and videos, so make sure to subscribe to my channel right here, and share this video with a friend. Thanks!